Well, hello YouTube. Good morning. Here we are. Got ourselves a beautiful day unfolding in front of us. Supposed to be a nice one. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, of course, yesterday had a little family get-together, which was pretty sweet. Spend some time with family and friends, have a nice little barbecue and such. That's kind of what it's all about. Well, posted some more free stuff, and it kind of trickled down throughout the day. I had a table and some lights and a box of VHS tapes and a metal stand and some wheels and I forget, some planting pots and stuff like that. And as you see, the metal stand is still here. The little hanging coat rack thingy is still here, and well, these Silverado wheels are still here as well. I would like to keep the Silverado wheels, but I don't have a truck to put them on. I didn't really pay a lot for them, really, to be honest with you. Other sets are going for like, or other sets are being asked price are like $200, but that doesn't mean that they're going for that. And some of them have wore out tires on them too, where these don't. I probably could have had them gone if they were 17-inch, but these are 16s. So a lot of people's vehicles don't take 16-inch rims anymore. They've gone large, right? Not 100% sure what's going to happen with them. They might get loaded onto the trailer and gone with the dump run that's going to happen either today or tomorrow. I've kind of said to myself that if that stuff doesn't go today, I'll throw it on the trailer and take it out. Because, well, what am I supposed to do, right? Keep it? I can't, you know, it's not the way it goes. You put it in the corner of the yard and it clutters up the yard and it just ends up taking up space, making your yard look cluttered. You might as well just let her go. It's kind of the way it is. Sold one of my old lawnmowers today. It had a carb issue, or has a carb issue or something. I've had it fixed twice by a so-called professional well-known lawnmower shop in this town. However, they haven't done a proper job of doing it, and they don't really warranty their work per se, and it's kind of one of them frustrating things. No matter what you do, it's never right, never good. It's well, kind of the way it is, right? So of course it sat in the corner of the shed for probably 6-7 years now. I've actually got other mowers in the meantime, and the one I'm currently using is one that I had in a trade deal, and I've been using it, and this other mower's been sitting all this time, not even tried to be started or nothing. So kind of doing a purge, if you want to say, getting rid of a bunch of stuff I ain't using, and it will be what it is, right? Well, today I got a couple of videos I'm wanting to shoot, and I'd like to do a cleanup in the garage here. I know I did one not that long ago, but at the same time I got a project coming up here where I kind of need the garage space, so if I do a straighten up at least, then the garage will be in workable condition. I'll be swinging, 4x8 sheets of material, so the garage is a bit small for 4x8, but I think I can do the big cutting in the driveway and do the small cutting in the garage here. And when it comes time for stain and such, then we'll do another cleanup and stain, and then install, That's hoping to be the project for next week. I want to do a dump run, like I said, there probably Monday. Stop by the hardware store on the way home and unload all the stuff and then we'll see how she goes. Maybe start the planning out. I need to make me a couple of cardboard templates, and once the cardboard templates are made, then I can start cutting, sanding, rotering, sanding, staining, clear coating, in assembly, and then probably another sand or two, and then clearing and stuff. Try to get it decent. I have to decide if I want to do a 2 or 3 coat clear and a half a sand and leave it like that, and then when she's all done and together, give it one final clear on everything, or if I want to finish each piece and then put it all together and call her good. My first thought was to paint it all, but a stain would kind of look nice as well. That's kind of one of them things that, again, the project will evolve, and it'll kind of work out the way it's supposed to work out. Last night I did me a bulk drop upload again for the Maxwell's World channel and the vlogging channel, as well as did the thumbnails and all that, so we're good for another week or two. I need to do another editing night, as well as another uploads and everything, just to get ahead by another couple of weeks again, just so when I'm working on the project here, I got, you know, YouTube videos going live, so if I have a day where I'm you know, not on the ball, then there's no dead spot. It's all continuous. But pretty much, guys, I got a couple more people that I'm hoping to meet up today for items, whether they're paid items or free items. Just getting rid of things. You might as well let somebody use them over taking them out to the landfill, right? So of course, gonna get going and get rolling, and yeah, we'll catch y'all later. Well, hello YouTube. Here we are. Little bit of an afternoon update. Well, it's been the better part of the day since I did one. However, you know, that's the way she works out, right? Well, of course, I got rid of some stuff, sold some stuff, you know, had some stuff for free, and it's slowly, piece by piece, going. Just thinning things out, you know, decluttering. You know, like I mentioned earlier, some of them are failed projects, or projects that never did materialize. Some items were things that I drug home because I had to buy one just like it, and it was expensive, and I thought, well, if I ever need another one, there it is, or parts, there it is. Kind of, in fact, you remember in 2014 when we did the garage door project, I had a virtually brand new garage door that would not work in my garage. And I tried to give it away when it wouldn't work, or sell it first and then give it away in the end, and nobody wanted it. Well, it had tracks and wheels and hinges and stuff. Now the hoarder in me wanted to keep the tracks, wheels and hinges. However, the common sense person in me let it all go. Well, I currently have a build that I'm working out in my head, and those tracks, wheels and hinges probably would have worked for that build. Would have made that build that much easier. But again, it's been, what, 3 years, and you know, the clutter, right? You would have sat around, and as it was, I believe it sat around for a year before I got rid of it, and it's just one of them things, right? Well, currently waiting on some more people to show up. Sometimes they take their sweet time. Sometimes they don't have any intention at all of showing up. Sometimes they're just time wasters. And but it just takes that one person to you know, pull their butt off their head and be serious and come get it. really, these free items that I have listed for sale, the larger ones, it's really no skin off my back whether they are for free picked up or going to the dump, because garbage is garbage. They don't pay for scrap around here, and I'm going out to the landfill a second time anyway, probably in the next couple of weeks. So why not make it a good load rather than a half load? Kind of like how I got on the utility trailer. Right now I got a good load. It's one of the larger loads that I've had on that trailer for a long time. And I was actually going to take that out today. However, when I googled the landfill, they said they were closed. And when I called out there, there was no answer, so assuming they must be closed. However, one of the people that I talked to said that they're doing a dump run and then they're supposed to be right over. So if that's the case, then, well, they must be open, right? Well, working out a little bit of a mini project in my head to phase out the large wood box. Right now I have a 2 foot tall by 3 foot wide by 6 feet long wood box, and it holds a lot of wood, like a lot of wood. However, it's a bit large, and I would like to shrink it down, and I'm just working out in my head how many sheets of plywood and how large to make the next wood box. And I think the next one I'm going to make is going to be like 4 by 4, 4 feet high, 4 feet tall, 2 feet deep, with a hinged lid on the top. So we'll have to see how that works on out, and probably end up, because it's 4 feet tall, probably end up having a hinged drop down front section so you can reach into the box to get the wood, especially from the bottom. Then that big wood box can go, and you got something a little bit smaller to work with, right? It's kind of one step at a time and one day at a time. You fall behind on house maintenance, whether it's, you know, physical, emotional, or just plain do not have time. You fall behind, and then things start to pile up, and you think to yourself, oh, I'll get at that at a later date, and sometimes it never happens. Sometimes the later date is not here, and then your yard starts to become cluttered, and your garage starts to become cluttered to the point where you really can't get into it to do any amount of work. So you gotta kind of say to yourself, do I really need that scrap of wood? Do I really need, you know, that toolbox or that extra this or whatever? And just gotta let it go. You just plain and simple have to thin down, because it's almost like you'll literally drown in your stuff. At one time I had lawnmowers like crazy, small engines like crazy, and they weren't really benefiting me any. You know, every once in a while I could use a part on another mower and fix it up, or sell a part or whatever, but at the same time, I don't live on an acreage per se. I don't have the room to store garbage mowers that pretty much aren't even worth the scrap value. So you put them on the old classifieds, and some guy comes along and wants them, and away they go. They really didn't cost me much or anything to acquire, and the ones I did trade for in a package deal were still good. And I still was able to sell those ones and get stuck with part one or parts ones. And it's kind of the way it is, right? Well, now that it's cooled down a touch from the day, I think I'm going to start doing a couple things in the garage here. Getting prepared for next week to start the project. Like I mentioned here earlier, with cutting large sheets and stuff, and room for the saw, the table saw, and all that, getting all that squared away, and well, the rest will be history, right? So probably fire up the tunes and get going and rolling, and yeah, catch y'all later. Well, here we are, the end of another day. Well, it was a good day. Little bit of a steady day. Got some stuff going, got some stuff rolling. Gave away some free stuff, posted some ads, entered some emails, made contact with a few people. However, of course, with that comes along working in the shop, trying to get things all squared away for next week, trying to get things going and rolling there. You know, when you have an idea in your head, you're trying to work toward it and trying to make it happen. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But pretty much, guys, gonna end her all here because today was a good day, and around we go. Remember, we do have a post office box for all your fan mail needs. Send me a decal, send me a letter, send me all that good stuff. The address is down below. If you write me, I will write you back. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.